Hello, everyone. Welcome back to AEC Today Reports. Happy Thursday. Happy April. I'm your host, Latasha Hewitt. We're happy that you tuned in. We look forward to you joining us every Thursday at 7 p.m. and sharing this with your friends and family. We're going to be bringing back our money management segment. We didn't have it in March, but starting next week, we'll have another financial professional. And this time we're talking about taxes. We know this is that time of the year where, if you haven't already, people are gearing up to get their taxes together. So we'll answer all those questions that you may have about that during the month of April. But also coming up in April, at the end of this month, we have our Connection and Ministry Communication Conference, which we call CAMCon. So the last Thursday of the month, we're going to have a special award ceremony. We'll be talking more about that in the coming weeks. But for now, we have a wonderful episode planned for you today. We're having a ministry moment where we're going to hear about a special ministry that one of our members is doing. We also have a new pastor for the month of April for Ask the Pastor segment. You'll find out who that is. And lastly, we're talking about resurrecting your health with Faye at the end of our program. We will note this week we don't have our Sabbath School sauce. Tiffany Claiborne will be back next week, but we do have our video of the week, which we will end with. All right, everyone. We look forward to that coming up right after this break.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We had this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet,
We discover
they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
love.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to AC Today Reports. We're moving on to another favorite segment of ours, which is our Ministry Moments segment. And as you can see there, our special guest for Ministry Moments this week is none other than Valerie Singleton. We're going to invite her to join us at this time. How are you doing, Valerie?
I am doing well. How are you?
Awesome. Feeling
Great.
good. Feeling good. So before we have you shout out your church, we always like people to shout out their church.
Okay.
We want to see how COVID has been treating you. How have you managed over this last year? Have you adjusted? How has it affected you personally?
Well, COVID has not been bad. For instance, as you may know, I work in the public school administration profession and with middle school. And when COVID hit last year, I was with an elementary school and everything shut down, and students and children are at home and working from home. So the Lord has blessed, and I have been able to continue working while at home. And I am working for a middle school, and I was able to work at home. Right now we are hybrid. So we have approximately 30% of our students in the building, and the remainder of them are online at home. And so that has been working out well. Staff, and we're back in the building. We work at home on Fridays. So it has not been bad. It has been an adjustment, but praise the Lord, everything has been good.
Okay, awesome. We like that when we can make the adjustment and, keep on with life.
Mhm.
So go ahead. You're from my favorite state.
Hi.
I always have to tell people that. That's my home state. Virginia.
Yes.
What church do you attend?
Yes, I am a member of Calvary Seventh-day Adventist Church in Newport News, Virginia. Where we have Pastor and Mrs. Prevette leading our flock there at Calvary.
That's right. We love Calvary. You're doing a great job there. And so Calvary is a very active church, I have to say. I think we've had Pastor Prevette here, but we've even had some other members from Calvary because of the wonderful ministries you all have going on there. And I always call myself a Facebook stalker in the name of Jesus, in the name of ministry. And whenever I see our members doing something I think is interesting, I reach out, and I saw that you have a ministry called Silk Masquerade. So I was like, well, first of all, the name is appealing. Mm-hmm. And then I, started to look on the page, and I saw that pretty much it seems like it was promoting a healthy lifestyle. But let me hear it from your perspective. What is Silk Masquerade, first of all, and where did this whole concept come from?
Well, Silk Masquerades is my podcast that I recently started. It is so new, very new. And it is an opportunity to talk with individuals, for as long as I can remember. Um, Anytime my parents went to a funeral, I wanted to read the obituary.
Really?
Yes. And I find the lives that people have lived to be very interesting. And I am intrigued by their stories. And so having the opportunity to serve as the church clerk for Calvary, we're able to present resolutions to the families of the deceased and learning interesting facts about their lives that we never knew or never even considered. And so when COVID hit, I found myself looking at funerals of individuals that I did not know because I enjoy hearing the stories and the reflections and watching episode after episode of finding your roots.
Oh, really? Yeah, I like that.
Yes. I started digging into my family's ancestry and finding and learning and asking my parents, tell me about this person. They popped up on Ancestry and, hearing, oh, yeah, and then finding out that individual story. It intrigued me. And so I wanted to do a podcast because I figured, why wait for an obituary when I can have you share your story with me now? Tell me who you are, what you do. And so that's why I decided we're going to go ahead and do this. Actually, I was convinced. I had a business coach I met with, and he said to me, what are you waiting for? You have topics, you have interest, go for it. Just do it. Don't wait for everything to be perfect.
Yep.
Lighting perfect, mic technology. Just get started. And so that's what I decided to do. I prayed about it and asked the Lord, hopefully my prayer is that someone will be blessed and inspired and might even change somebody's life.
I love that. I love that. What a wonderful concept. And I know you're not alone with those obituaries because I heard recently that that's the most popular section of the newspaper. People really read obituaries than comics or featured news. So you're not alone with that. So that's great. I love this concept of kind of the living obituary, if you will.
Yes.
What is your life about? Now, what about the name? How did you come up with Silk Masquerades? It sounds so enticing.
Well, I wanted it to be something that would be catchy, and I wanted it to be something that individuals would understand, because every day we stand in line behind individuals, we walk past individuals, and we have no idea who they are. We work with people and we don't know their stories. We don't know their struggles. We don't know, what they have been through. And so we often masquerade as business professionals, office professionals, healthcare workers, and it turns out that behind our masks, many of us are authors and poets, teachers, community leaders, chefs, and all around warriors every single day. And so our experiences help to shape the way we show up in the world. And so I wanted to be able to focus on that aspect of individuals. And Silk. Silk, actually, because many of us, we learn how to perfect the mask that we wear. It's, we get good at it. It becomes smooth to us. Silk is smooth. but also wanted to use SILK as an acronym. The S stands for salvific faith.
Hmm.
So sharing salvific faith, and the I, information and inspiration, L, life lessons, and the K is for knowledge. Using those tools, it is my desire that we will reveal the amazing fortitude of our masquerades and
Amen.
the brilliantly resilient people that we are every single day. And so that is why I came up with the name Silk Masquerade.
Okay, that's pretty deep. I love that acronym, and you're right. We only see what people show us. We have no
Mhm.
idea those layers behind everything. So you talked
Exactly.
about talking to all of these different people. I know you're just kind of getting started with it,
Mhm.
but what are some of the guests? Or what are some of the top? What kind of people have you talked to so far?
Well, so far, like I said, I'm just getting started.
Mhm.
And so we are now on episode number 3. That is we have, and that is with a chef. She is a vegan chef.
Okay.
And before her, we spoke with a pastor, author, and chaplain. So
Okay.
we learned about her faith, that she used to determine the path that God would have her to choose. And the very first episode was with another pastor and author, Dr. Cedric Belcher.
Okay.
And we had an opportunity for him to share his story with us, and to learn how his faith brought him to another country and even offered him the ability to succeed.
Awesome. And we'll share your Facebook page a little bit so people can kind of see where they can follow. Because obviously, when we talk about things, we like to show people where they can go listen and watch for themselves. But,
Okay.
of course, this is under the banner, this is under our ministry moment section. And I
Mhm.
put it there specifically because even though, like you mentioned, you're the clerk at Calvary and you
Mhm.
have a lot of contributions that you do at the church, this is something that you're doing personally.
Yes.
As a ministry. And why was that so important to you?
It was important to me because I realized that during the pandemic, many people, myself included, we were craving community,
Mm.
craving connection with individuals. We had lockdowns and quarantines. And so it was my desire that we would be able to talk about our experiences and share our testimonies, our gifts, and our talents,
Mhm.
with each other. And some of them will be gut wrenching, some of it will be entertaining, much of it will be amusing, and then even awe-inspiring. But we are wanting to have a forum where people can share their stories and their talents, and to also have an opportunity to learn from each other and to be inspired.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. And we love podcasts around here. We started ours this year as
Yes,
well.
and I love it.
Great. So we support our members who are doing the same because there's so many people out there that we can reach
Mhm.
and in different ways. And this is one way that we can do that through the podcast. So for those who are interested in listening to, watching Silk Masquerade podcast, Masquerades, where should we go?
You can actually find me on Facebook and Instagram at Silk Masquerades. We also have a YouTube page, and that is Valerie Singleton. It's my YouTube page, Valerie Singleton. And we air live on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Tuesdays at 7 p.m. You'll find Silk Masquerades on Facebook Live as well as YouTube Live.
There it is. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Awesome. I love it. So you heard it. You go to Facebook. I feel like if you go to Facebook, you'll be directed to all the other places. Well,
Mhm.
obviously Instagram, and then you
Yes.
have the YouTube page where people can find information. I see you have your email there. So make sure you guys check this out, Silk Masquerades. And this is your opportunity as well to get to know people that
Mhm.
you
That's
may
right.
not have otherwise interacted with and hear their stories.
Exactly.
and be
And I'm
inspired.
looking for stories. I'm looking
Okay, I was going to ask you that.
stories. Yes, we have coming up. We have a mother who is going to be sharing her testimony of her children that are experiencing rare diseases. So
Mm,
we're going to be talking with her and sharing her journey. We're going to be talking regarding mental health. We're going to have mother-daughter forum. We're also
okay.
going to have some young college men who are going to be coming together and talking about issues that they are facing. And we also have a poet coming up. We've got financial freedom coming up.
Oh, wow.
We have, yes,
You said you're looking for stories, or you have all of them already?
we have an interior decorator coming up. We have
Ooh.
something for everyone. And so I am interested in hearing from you. So please make sure that you reach out and let us know what you have to share. Your gifts, your talents, your stories of triumph and faith. We are here to hear your stories.
I love that. I love that. So, of course, check that out. What's the email address again that people can reach out to you?
Sure, there are two.
Okay.
It is Silk Masquerade, no S, Silk
Okay.
Masquerade at gmail.com.
Okay. No
And then you can also reach me at info, info, at Silk Masquerades with an S
Okay.
.com.
All
Info
right.
at silkmasquerades.com.
Okay, and I think that one's the one we saw on the Facebook page, and this is the
Yes.
other one. Either way, you can
Yes.
reach. Now, make sure you spell masquerade right, everybody. We know that can be a little tricky. No, but this is awesome. This is awesome. I'm so glad you came to share this with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me and offering
Yes.
the opportunity for me to share. I appreciate it. I'm humbled.
Oh, no problem. So every Tuesday at 7 p.m., we can check out Silk Masquerades and see who's, I'm not going to call it living obituary. That sounds morbid, but whose life we can learn about.
Yes.
And, what we can
shining
glean
a spotlight.
That's right. That's right. There we go. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you sharing this awesome ministry, personal ministry of yours. And we hope that those who are watching will tune in and find something to help lift them up as well. Thanks again for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. All right, everyone. We'll be right back after this short break. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to AEC Today Reports. We are back with our Ask the Pastor segment, and we are in a new month. So we have a new pastor. We're happy to welcome with us Pastor Leslie Moise. He will be our guest pastor for the month of April, and we're excited to talk with him and find out what our question of the week is. How are you, Pastor Moise?
Doing pretty well, thank you. God is good.
Awesome. Yes, we're so happy that you consented to join us. We always like to give our pastors or anyone an opportunity to shout out their church. So tell us where you pastor.
I pastor the Mitchellville Seventh-day Adventist Church, which is the best kept secret in Maryland.
I love it. I love it. We love Mitchellville. And so, with this pandemic, it's been a year. How has your church been coping? How have you all been managing during this time?
I think it was a surprise to us.
Mm-hmm.
Though we started planning for it early, because I have gotten word from overseas, from friends, from Guadeloupe, from California, that something was going on. But it was really quite a learning curve for us. But by the grace of God, the congregation, held on, and now we are doing with it. And I wonder how we're gonna be able to go back to the
Right.
old normal, really, because we got used to what it is now. And
Mm-hmm. We adapt
even
as
though
people.
we're planning on reopening, but it
It'll
will be
still be
something.
different. Yeah, completely understand that. Well, I don't know what they told you about this Ask the Pastor segment, but we're going to be throwing some questions at you each week, and we're asking you to give us your best response to help our viewers have a better understanding of whatever it is that they have to ask. So, are you ready for this week's question?
Hopefully, no hardball, but yes.
All right. So this is ironic. We were just talking about the effects of this pandemic, and there's a question here. Did God allow this pandemic? Is this God's doing, everything that we're experiencing right now? What are your thoughts?
Oh, my thoughts are I have seen questions like that before with other issues. The very first thing, my thinking is God is sovereign. I don't believe there is a good power and an evil power that keep on fighting all the time. I don't believe that. I believe that God is sovereign. Because He is sovereign, anything that happens, He must have allowed it. So,
That's a
in this
yeah.
sense, yes, He allowed this pandemic. This pandemic could not have come without His permission.
All
Whether
right.
it is His perfect will or His permissive will, that's a whole other discussion.
All right, you're right about that. I mean, sometimes people feel that anything bad, because of God's nature, because of His love for His children, that if it's anything bad, we say, "Oh, the devil did it." But then we ask, "Well, why did God let him do it?" But
Yeah,
as
but
you said, He's sovereign.
philosophically, we are also saying that Satan is as powerful as God, and I cannot accept that.
No, me either. I will not accept that. I think that's the beauty of being a Christian, though, is knowing that when things happen, God has His hand in it, and He knows what He's doing. Since we say He knows the beginning from the end. So I guess that's kind of where we have to stay, huh?
Yes, we have to be careful also not to think we can explain God. I cannot explain. I don't know why. So He died and I'm still breathing, but I'm not gonna have a guilt trip either for being alive. I'm gonna thank God for that and understand what He has for me and work toward that.
Right. I'm with that. That's right. Who can understand His ways, right? You're right. We just don't even have the mental capacity to even fathom how He
He is
thinks.
divine, I'm human. I live in time, He lives outside of time. So I'm not gonna try.
Okay. Thank you. I think that kind of, sometimes you just got to say it straight. And I think you did that
And
for us.
we might need to put a word there too, because Jesus did say in the end time there would be pestilence. And I think this pandemic qualifies as a pestilence.
There you go. Fulfillment of prophecy. He said it was going to come. So we shouldn't really be that surprised, right?
Absolutely.
That's right. That's why it's important, like you said, to read the word. So when these things happen, they don't take us off guard. I think sometimes we read and think it's like a storybook, that these things aren't really going to happen. But
Yeah. And for those who expect more, I would say, as a human being, I do not have enough information to explain why God did that. God has information, facts that I cannot even fathom.
absolutely. That's why He's God and we're not, right?
Yeah.
So true. So true. Wow. Thank you so much for tackling that question. I hopefully anyone who was pondering that now has a clear understanding of what's happening and why we don't necessarily need to.
Yeah, clear understanding that's a lot of faith. I'm hoping they get a little handle to apprehend this matter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. We appreciate you tackling first question. We didn't run you away, right? You're going to come back next week?
I signed up for the assignment. I'm going to be there for the next one, yes.
Thank you so much, Pastor Moise.
You
Thank
will.
you. All right. All right, everyone. We'll be back after the short break. But also, we want to remind you, if you have a question that you'd like to be answered during our Ask the Pastor segment, please don't forget to email me. You can do that at lhewitt@aecsda.com, and we'll make sure your question gets asked on our program. All right, everyone. We'll be right back after this break.
Hello, I'm Faye Gregory from the Spirit of Fitness with Faye. I have a few tips to share with you to avoid a rerun of 2020 and 2021. Tip number 1, it is important for you to make your health a priority. Make your health and time for yourself like an important meeting that you wouldn't want to miss. You matter, you are important. Tip number 2, we can begin by setting measurable and sustainable goals. Keep them realistic. You know your limitations. Don't have your goals way up here, too far for you to attain. You know your limitations. Take baby steps, one day at a time, and then increase your workout, your time over the next week or month. And tip number 3, along with your healthcare coverage and prayer, self-care is an important component. What do I mean? I don't mean just getting your hair done. What I mean by self-care is making time to exercise daily. The weather's getting better now. Get outside and move. Doing something is better than doing nothing. During the pandemic, it is very important to move. Do something you enjoy. Your fitness success is contingent upon consistency. It's better to do a little something than nothing at all. God has given us a free and comprehensive health plan. Our bodies are a gift from God. He's going to hold us accountable and ask, what have we done with my gift? When we take care of ourselves, we stay winning. Always remember that you are beautifully and wonderfully made in His image. Move with intentionality so you can equip, energize, and enhance yourself.
Welcome back, everyone. If you've been following our broadcast for weeks, you know at what point in the program we are. And that is our segment, Fitness with Faye. And as expected, Faye is going to give us some information that we can apply to our lives to be healthier individuals. So we want to invite Faye on at this time. Hi, Faye.
Hi, Latasha.
You already started moving, huh?
Yes, I'm starting moving. I'm getting excited.
Awesome.
Spring's running. I'm ready. I want to get the viewers ready.
I love it. I love it. And what does your shirt say? I know we usually
She is full of fire, fierce, strong, and brave.
Brave. All right. Yes, you are.
Thank you. Yes, you are.
Thank you. Thank you. So I know you have something exciting for us this week. What are we talking about this week?
This week, we are talking about wonderful resurrection tips. And let me begin with Happy Resurrection Week, Latasha and viewers.
Same to you. Thank you.
Resurrection tips for resurrecting our health.
Ooh, I like that. Resurrecting our health. And we have to admit, it's dead. Our routines, even our New Year's resolutions towards our health, some of them have died. Slow death. And so you have some tips for us to resurrect it? Let's hear it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Latasha, this is the 4th month of the year. 2021, spring has sprung. It's time to get ready. After sheltering from the storms of winter and the pandemic storms of life, it's been reported that many have not been seeking routine medical care because of the virus. But this is important, Latasha, for our health self-care. Just as one may attend to a plant after the winter, as we need some attending to.
That's
like
true.
the plant, one of the things you may want to check on are the roots. We may go back to our roots, look for damage and repot, checking on the root of the problem. Give ourselves room to grow and extend our roots outwardly and not wither away. Here are some tips to strengthen our bodies physically as well as spiritually.
Okay.
It's important to exercise daily, get sunshine and fresh air in a safe place. Our days are longer now, and there's more sunshine available for us to enjoy. Also, as we discussed before, deep breathing can be very beneficial. Let's inhale together. Inhale, hold, and then exhale. There you go. Let's take a breath in. Now exhale. Drawing attention to your breath can be very helpful to you throughout today to relax you, to reduce the stress. If you're feeling stressed, just take time to breathe. This is a great time also of the year during Resurrection Week to reconnect in prayer. Read and meditate on God's word. Write a journal. You have more time now and less distractions. Being sheltered at home gives you more time to connect with those that are like-minded and positive. Listen to this. Mind your mind.
Uh-oh.
Don't fight each other. Fight negativity and the pandemic effects. Seek professional counseling if needed. Don't worry about life. Trust God's plan to provide and empower us.
Yes.
Isn't life more than food and the body more than clothes? Matthew 6:25. Latasha and viewers, when we're doing something we enjoy, we tend to stick to it and we want to do it more often. God said above all things, we should be in good health and prosper as our soul prospers, especially in times such as this, when only His grace is sufficient.
Absolutely.
Getting active and staying active is important. Consistency is key. Exercise is not an option. God wants us to be healthy. How are we going to serve if we're broken down? With optimum health, we can be more effective witnesses to God and for God.
Not an option. I like how you said that. It's not.
Exercise is not an option.
You got to do it.
You know, it's the first day of April. I'm going to be emphasizing and giving demonstrations on strength training. We're going to be showing our skin, wearing short sleeve shirts, coming out of the hoodies and sweaters and so on and so forth. So we want to tone up those arms, tone up our legs, and strengthen our core as well, tone up our whole body, and also tone up our mind.
Yes.
Last week, I gave you a demonstration with hand weights. I'm going to quickly give you a few exercises once again. We have curls for those biceps. There you go. And you give me 3 sets of 10. So we do this 10 times. 3 times 10 each, okay? So it's 10 reps 3 times. So we start here, up. Squeezing the biceps, and then you turn your elbows in. Squeeze. Very good. Lateral raises. Here we go. Up. Lift those elbows up. Wonderful. Now we're going to take the weights up overhead. Draw your belly button in towards your spine. You can do these exercises standing or sitting. Okay, belly button into the spine. Let's work that core. Wonderful. Another fun exercise. Elbow to knee. Crossing your heart. Working your core. And switch. Again, 3 sets of 10. Tricep extensions. Lift those weights over your head. Draw the elbows forward and toward your forehead. 3 sets of 10. Just like that. Okay, make sure you have your elbows pointing forward. No wings out here. Want to make sure you're doing the exercises as correctly as you can to make sure they're effective. Wonderful. Okay, another thing that I'd like you to give a check out are exercise bands. I'm sure you've seen these. They're wonderful for stretching and also strength training your body. You want to use hand weights while you're seated or standing. Place the band under your hands, under your feet. You're holding onto the handles, and we curl just like we did with the hand weights. Right there. Working those biceps, elbows in. There you go. Lifting the handles right up to your shoulders, upright nose. Just like that. And then we're here. Press up and down. You can do squats with your bands, squats with the weights. Okay? All right. So just to give you a snippet of what I have planned coming up for you this month.
Okay. I love that. I have to get me some. I always say I need some hand weights. I need some hand weights. And how many pounds were the ones you were using?
These are 2.5. So they come in a box that says 5 pounds.
Okay.
So 2.5 pounds each. And I mean, you can find hand weights at Walmart, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, as well as the band.
Okay.
Do
they come in different sizes as well, or?
Different sizes and also different strengths. So they have low, medium, high intensity, different colors as well. Yes.
Okay. High intensity. Is that what we should go for?
No, you better start off. It will work out. I'll build you up to more.
Okay.
And the viewers, once you're, try the examples that I've given you today. And then you can move on to my videos. My strength videos, cardio blasts, they're in the library for you. Take advantage of them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, because the things that you were doing are things that we can do in between meetings when our camera may be off for a few minutes. We can, we can do that, or we can do it off to the side where people can't see.
Music that you enjoy, some upbeat gospel workout music, and just move, have fun on your feet or seated. No excuses.
That's right.
Excuses don't burn calories, Latasha.
That's so true. And I like the fact that one thing I learned about exercise, once you get started, like once you pick up those weights, and it's like you're motivated to keep going. I think the hardest part is just doing it. So don't talk yourself out of it. Start that exercising. You'll energize yourself to keep going. And soon it'll become a habit, something that you can't live without. Like Faye, I remember you said that you can't imagine not doing exercise every day. Like you don't feel like the day is complete. And I think that's how we all should be.
I'm missing something. Right.
Yeah.
I exercise daily. Yeah.
That's important. That's important. Yeah. Well, I feel like it's time to resurrect my health. I hope viewers are feeling the same right now. It's no time like the present to get back in the game and keep moving. So we appreciate what you shared with us this week, and we look forward to how we'll build upon it next week. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Viewers, start today. If you haven't started already, take baby steps, crawl if you must, but just start moving. You'll feel it.
That's right. Thanks again for those reminders. All right, everyone. We'll be right back after this short break.
The Bible tells us in 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14, "If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and will forgive their sin, and will heal their land." If there were ever a time that we needed to come together in prayer, it is now. Therefore, our president, Elder Henry Fordham, is calling on you to join us as we band together in prayer. Pray corporately with us every day at 12 p.m., and in addition, 3 times a day. We believe that God will honor the faithfulness of His people as we band together in prayer. Please pray with us and watch God move.
All right, everyone, that wraps up tonight's episode. Thanks for tuning in. We hope that you listened or heard something that can inspire you as you go into this special weekend. Don't forget to check out our website, visit aec.org. You'll see all of the wonderful special resurrection programs that are happening this weekend in our churches. Make sure you check them out. Germantown is having a special 3-part play series, so if you want to check that out, make sure you do so. It's free to register. See that information on our website as well. Like I said, we missed our Sabbath School sauce this week, but she'll be back next week, and we look forward to ending with our video of the week. Everyone be blessed. We're so glad that he is risen. The more you watch, the more you know. We'll see you next Thursday at 7 p.m.
You and I can't even recognize when God is protecting us unless there's some sort of tragic near miss event. You see, every day we get into our cars and the car starts up and we ought to praise God for the car turning over. We drive down the dangerous highways and we don't get into any accidents. That's because God is keeping us. And when we're in an accident, God still is protecting us. And if we suffer anything from the accident, we've got to recognize we don't know what the devil had in mind to try to take us down. But whatever happens to us in any situation, God's protection is over us. And if we feel that we didn't get the protection, it's only because we do not understand, and our salvation IQ is low, because even in death, God is protecting us because he is a God of perfect timing. He knows exactly the time when we are ready to leave this earth, just so that we can celebrate salvation on the other side. Don't miss your shout when God protects our children. Don't miss your shout. Even though you didn't see anything tragic along the dangerous highways or in life, don't miss your shout, because God is constantly at work protecting us. And we ought to shout when we make it home safely. We ought to shout when we see that God is keeping us.